Hey YouTube, it's Eric from the Reptile Room. Sorry it's been a little while. We've had a pretty eventful couple of weeks, honestly, as you might be able to see behind me there. Or maybe not because of the sun. Hold on a second. There it is. You can see someone tried to have a little break-in at the store here. So we've been dealing with that and getting that all sorted out, but in the meantime I have collected some clips and bits of footage. So here we go, let's check it out. This is our new staff member. This is Jimmy. Jimmy is, well, he's trying to turn his life around. He's made some poor decisions. He actually tried to break in last week, but we figured, you know what, we'll give him a chance, and maybe we'll put him to work. So he is going to be put to work as a basking spot for bearded dragons once we clean him up a little bit. Welcome to the team, Jimmy. Here's a species I haven't seen around in a hot minute. We just got these in. These are green anoles. And you might be thinking, that's not a green anole, that's brown. But these guys can fire up and down, much like a chameleon, and very drastically and very quickly. So right now he's brown, but in a quick minute he might turn bright green here. Pretty neat stuff. Today we'd like to go over how to properly install a heat rock for your reptile. So this is a product that's made by Exoterra, and basically what we have in here is a power source going in, and we've got a little heated cable running through this ceramic rock. And you plug it in, and the idea is that it holds about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a place for your reptiles to warm themselves up. So let's get on installation. So these right here are our Argentine boas, and I'm just going to nestle this in right here, make a nice little basking zone for them. And then basically all you do is you take your power source, you run it up to the side into your outlet, which I'll just plug in a second here, and that's going to power your rock, which should keep it nice and warm for your snake. Now there's just one last thing you have to do before you leave this with your reptile, and that's this. Come on, to get a better look. So you have to take this little tool. We call this a defective equipment restoration and alteration device. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in right beside the rock here. You see that cable going in? And we're just going to do that as a final adjustment. And now what we have in there is a nice little piece of decor for our snakes to rub up against. It's going to help them shed. And that is all heat rocks are really good for. Basically what we got is a product that was designed very early on in the hobby as a heat source for reptiles, and they have a lot of issues. So unfortunately they still manufacture them because people still buy them, but they are really unsafe to use as anything other than what we just used it for, a nice rock in an enclosure. Because the idea is that the whole rock is going to heat up to about 90, but in reality what's going to happen is it's going to do that at first for a little bit, and then you're going to have imperfections in your ceramic or plastic or whatever it's made out of finish. And this cable is going to be closer to the surface in some areas than others. So what you're going to wind up is with a rock that is kind of lukewarmish, that has a few spots on the surface that are like the power of the sun in the palm of your hand. And most reptiles don't have very good nerve endings on their bellies. They're crawling around on their bellies. And they might just sit on that because they feel the warmth and they want to warm up, and they're going to wind up with very serious third-degree burns. So we cut the cables off of them, and we use them as decor, and that is what they're good for. So we've got some pretty interesting geckos for sale right now. Of course there's your classic leopard geckos that we have, but we also have some arboreal stuff. So these right here, these are all crested geckos. Don't worry, that's not a real Venus flytrap. I hear that every time a customer walks in the store. It is evident as by the fact that it is in a piece of plaster on paper towel. Venus flytraps are very sensitive and would not survive those conditions. But there is a little gecko in here who's hiding. Oh, he's right in the bottom of the Venus flytrap. And these are sort of your entry-level gecko in the hobby. You'll find these in pretty much any pet store. They're pretty neat little guys. We actually produced this one ourselves. And this is just a little baby still. Of course, they get quite a bit larger than this. Come here, little one. Oh, we're going this way now. There we go, there he is. So that's a crested gecko. Good entry-level pet, easy to care for. You don't need a whole bunch of fancy heating and lighting equipment for them as long as you're supplementing correctly, although they can benefit from the lighting. Off he goes, back into his fly trap. And then in here we have a really neat species that I'm a big fan of. They're not so much a pickup kind of gecko. They're a little bit violent for that. These are called tokay geckos, and this is actually a captive bred female in here. And I'm not sure where she is hiding at, honestly. I'll pop a picture up here. I think we uploaded a video when these guys came in a while ago, so these are the bright blue ones with the orange spots that scream their name and choose violence every day when they wake up. I don't know where she is. I'm gonna let her rest because these are nocturnal species that come out at nighttime, and well, I don't want to wake her up in the middle of her sleep. But then, moving over here, we just got something really neat in, and you don't see a lot of these around, especially in Canada. This is a Saracenorum gecko. And these are lesser known. Crested geckos are pretty well known, gargoyle geckos are pretty well known, lychee geckos are a little less known, but most people who have spent much time looking around at Caledonian geckos are going to know what they are. This, on the other hand, usually when I mention them, people say, what the heck is a Saracenosum gecko? Nothing, because this is a Saracenorum gecko. And what they are is basically a cousin of the crested geckos who are way, way bigger. They're not Leachianus gecko sized, but no gecko really is. Now apparently these are really fast, and they're a little pricey, so I have to be super careful with this. I just want to get one into this container because it is available for sale. These are, I mean, they look like adults at that size, but these are literally just babies. We actually got a couple adults as well, and they are, well, a little longer than this entire container, all in all, so really, really cool. Let's see. I'm going to flip you guys around a sec and prop this up on here because I want both hands for this. I don't want to be chasing one of these around the store. They're, well, they're a little pricey and they're a lot fast, and I am not fast. And replacing me would probably be cheaper than replacing this gecko. There we go. Pretty things, huh? Okay. Let's get on in here. I just need one ear right now. The other one of you can stay in there. They're not going to stay in there long. I'm getting them set up next door. Oh, good stuff. Now I have two. So I'll pop one in there. You stay. Good little baby. No, no, no. You stay over there. Thank you. At least they're not prone to bite like the tokays, are you? No. Okay, I caught him a second time. You're gonna go right there. Thank God I decided to do this with two hands. Hey! He has been contained. That's the good stuff. We'll close this on up. What lovely footage. Just a bunch of lid and fingers. I like that. And there he is. This one is going to be available for purchase in the store. Really cool little species. Pretty hard to come by. So we'll take that little one and we will pop that little one up there. Ciao.
Another day has passed and you can really see the little leggies on some of these guys now. Teeny tiny little back frog leggies. Those should continue to grow in, and then the fronts will grow in. Then they'll start climbing up on this little doohickamajiggy. Next thing you know, we'll have frogs.
It is that time of year again. And by that time of year, I mean it's egg season. And right here we have this lovely spider slash prove out. I think this is a bumblebee, basically a spider pastel, but there's a couple other candidates there. But we're gonna find out when these little eggies hatch. I apologize for the mess. She's made a bit of a mess in here, and she's a little cranky with me. So let's get set up on our little work desk here, and we will get these eggs collected. We'll talk about the genetics involved, and we'll get Mama set back all up and cleaned again. Okay, so here we go. Here she is. Now, she is a spider, and she's got some other stuff going on. What these babies pop out will kind of let us know what other genetics are at play in this animal, so that's going to be good for us. And the dad is a pewter het clown. Now, clown is recessive, so none of these babies will look clown, but pewter is a combination of pastel and cinnamon, so at best we could be getting pastel cinnamon spider het clowns, plus whatever the heck this little lady's got going on. If we get super pastels, we know she's a bumblebee. Anyways, I'm gonna grab a separate bin to pop her in because she's none too impressed with me. So I'm gonna scoop on in here, grab her from behind. She is none too impressed, nor would I be if I had just laid eggs. Fortunately, that's not a problem that I really have to face in my day-to-day life. So there, she's off in a little bath now, getting herself all cleaned up. I'm going to take this water bowl out of the way. And I've got this little Tupperware here put together, and I have some vermiculite in here, or perlite, sorry, that I've added moisture to from the incubator. So I've got it at a point where if I take a handful of this and I squeeze, I'm not dripping water, but I am holding my shape. It's sort of clumping together there. It's a little dry, I might have to add a little bit more, but we shall see when it comes down to that. Okay, so here we go. Pretty small clutch. This is the first time we've bred this girl. We got her from a breeder, so I presume she's bred in the past. But it looks like what we got here is 4 really healthy eggs and 3 slugs. So a total of 7 in this clutch. Now, it's pretty easy to tell the difference between the healthy eggs and the slugs. The healthy eggs look like eggs. The slugs, well, they look like some sort of legume, I suppose. But yeah, these are not going to develop into ball pythons. These are just infertile little eggs, so we'll pop those off to the side. We won't be needing those, but we will take these nice healthy eggs. Now, you can see these eggs are kind of stuck together, and this is something that a lot of snakes will do. They glue these clutches together because when they incubate, they want to hold a consistent temperature, and you have these little thermal bridges in between the eggs. That's going to help that to happen. And to top that off, unlike bird eggs, you don't want to roll snake eggs. The embryo is going to fuse within about 24 hours. Now the embryo is going to be fused to the top of these eggs. And you don't want them to rotate once they've fused, because those embryo can potentially actually suffocate within the egg. So I want to separate these now, though, because I'm putting them in the incubator. And if one of the eggs goes bad, I want to be able to separate them, push come to shove. But I don't want to just pull the eggs off of each other, because I don't want to break them. So I'm doing that gentle little roll. Now I've got 2 separate little lovely eggs. I'm just going to divot those into my perlite and then come back for my other 2. There we go. A little bit of newspaper stuck to the bottom of these. Let's see about getting that off. There we go, lovely. Give that a gentle little rotate. Beautiful. 2 more eggs right there. These are the first snake eggs of the season. So these should be some of the first snakes we have coming out. Interestingly enough, I've noticed with this egg, we have a little bit of pocking over here. That's something that crops up. But this egg is really freaking hard for a snake egg. It feels really filled in, so we'll see how that makes out. Not sure what that's all about, but time will tell. If it's no good, it'll turn at some point during incubation, and we'll continue to incubate it for a while, just because you never really know. Seen snakes come out of some pretty weird looking eggs. But if we get to a point where there's no questioning whether or not the egg is good, then we can separate it so it doesn't compromise the other eggs in the clutch. So there we go. 4 lovely little snake eggs. I'm just going to grab a black marker and mark the tops of these eggs, because say I'm taking them out and checking them and I drop it and I roll or something. I want to know which way is up so the embryo don't drown in there. So I'll be back in a second. And there we go. 4 lovely little eggs. I think I'm going to keep it simple this time. Just lovely little dashes. Cool. I know which way is up. I've already made a label, slapped it on the side as to what the parents are. So that is Tickety-Boo. And this right here is Dad. This is Josh Groban. Not the singer, the snake. So anyways, that's all we got for today, guys. Check back in a few months. We should have some babies going. Until then, I'm sure there's going to be more egg-laying videos, because once one snake lays eggs, the rest are going to be very soon to follow. Usually all on the same day, so super exciting stuff. Have a great day, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.